The day the Flash weighed 1,000 pounds. Yes, that's an actual story from 1960, but this isn't just comic book absurdity. This issue, The Flash number 115, is a perfect window into what made the Silver Age of comics so unique and why Barry Allen's Flash became the face of that era. So today, let's break it down. In 1956, DC Comics did something bold. They took a Golden Age hero, Jay Garrick, the original Flash, and reinvented him for a new generation. Barry Allen debuted in Showcase number 4, and with that, the Silver Age of comics officially began. The Silver Age was the age of science. Post-war optimism, the space race, and atomic energy all found their way into pop culture, and comic books reflected that shift. Superheroes weren't just brawlers anymore, they became men of science, wrapped in colorful costumes. If we're talking about the Silver Age Flash, we have to talk about Carmine Infantino, the artist who redefined what speed looked like on a comic book page. Infantino's sleek, streamlined redesign of the Flash costume with its bold lightning bolt and yellow accents is iconic, but his real innovation was the art of motion. He pioneered the use of speed lines and multiple exposure figures to create the illusion of motion. Before Infantino, superheroes leapt and punched, but after Infantino, they moved. They raced off the page. His influence is still felt today in everything from animation to cinema. Whenever you see a blur of red and gold streak across the screen, that's Carmine Infantino's legacy at work. Barry Allen was a police scientist. His powers didn't come from magic or a wish, but from a lightning bolt and electrified chemicals, a cocktail of pseudoscience that made him faster than anyone alive. Barry's world became a testing ground for the Silver Age formula. Bright costumes, themed villains, and wild sci-fi plots that stretched the imagination. Captain Cold, Mirror Master, Weather Wizard, these weren't ordinary crooks. They were science-fueled showmen, and in The Flash number 123, Barry literally revived the Golden Age by meeting Jay Garrick, which also birthed the concept of the DC multiverse. Without The Flash, there is no Crisis on Infinite Earths, no multiverse movies. He set the template. Now let's talk about The Flash number 115. Published in 1960, titled The Day the Flash Weighed 1,000 Pounds, the story captures Silver Age storytelling at its boldest. It's absurd, yes, but it's also pure Silver Age brilliance. These comics took scientific concepts and turned them into dramatic visual stakes. Speed versus weight, energy versus mass. It's like a superhero physics lesson, if physics were like cartoon logic. The synopsis of this story: Grodd is stuck in prison and trying to figure a way out. He takes this pill that will make it seem like he died, but he'll come back in another life form. It's a risk because he could come back as a fish or a bird. He takes the pill and his body becomes lifeless. They think he's dead. He wakes up as a man, so his risk paid off. Conveniently, this man is going for a job, and the job in question, working at a circus performing with gorillas. It's the Silver Age. He uses these gorillas to start performing robberies that no man could perform. The Flash begins to investigate, and the man version of Grodd needs to get him off his tail. There's no pun intended there, because apes don't have tails. He comes up with a ray that, with special radiation, causes the body to absorb moisture from the air at an incredible rate, making the victim swell like a balloon. Again, Silver Age. While the moisture has this effect, Grodd still has a little bit of his mind power left and uses it to erase the Flash's identity from Barry's mind. He's now 1,000 pounds and amnesic, a true Silver Age classic. Human Grodd puts Barry on display at the circus. Barry only begins to remember who he is because he walks past a funhouse mirror, making him look like his original self. How does he decide to fix this 1,000 pound gain? He goes to a dehydrated potatoes factory and sits among the dehydrated potatoes. It will rid him of the moisture, therefore getting rid of the weight. When he goes to encounter Human Grodd, he still looks very fat. Grodd is planning to shoot him with a second ray, making him so big that he will explode. He pulls out a pin, and he pops his own suit, showing that he already inflated himself with air and the moisture weight was already gone. He uses this advantage of surprise and defeats the Human Grodd. But at the end of the story, he actually never realizes that this human was Gorilla Grodd, just that it was a new human enemy. In typical Silver Age fashion, Barry doesn't just smash his way out. He uses brain power, a reminder that the Flash has always been as much about intellect as he is about speed. Looking back at these stories, they might seem campy, but they laid the foundation for superhero storytelling as we know it. Barry Allen turned speed into a symbol of progress and discovery, and even today his legacy races on, in every Flash who has followed and in every multiverse crossover that traces back to the Flash of Two Worlds. So yes, there really was a day that the Flash weighed 1,000 pounds, and while that might sound ridiculous, it's also a shining example of Silver Age comics at their best: bold, bizarre, and brilliant. Because in the Silver Age, even the impossible felt like it could be true if you just ran fast enough. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, like, comment, all that good stuff. We make podcasts over here to hear our story, and now we've been branching out to do some solo videos. This is my first solo video, and I'd like to do some more maybe if I have the right kind of ideas. I've read a lot of Silver Age comics between Stan Lee's Fantastic Four and Stan Lee's Amazing Spider-Man, so I wouldn't mind making more of these kind of videos, breaking down random issues from those runs that are kind of just bizarre. So let me know if that's something you'd like to see. You could always give me a follow at History of the Flash on Instagram and make sure you subscribe to A Hero Story for all good content.